All right, so let's go from perspective. Let's move on to another area, another new area that got an update, which is our alarming system and our alarm metrics. So now if we go to our tag browser, if I go to each of these folders, you'll notice that in the folder there's a new meta area called alarm metrics. And alarm metrics shows you what's currently active within that area. So let me go down here. I'm going to make an alarm go active here. Go to read write. And so if I look at my alarm metrics, you can see that I have one that has active. We have something active in that particular folder. And it's for anything that's in this folder and below. Of course, if I look at the individual folders here, like this one does not have anything active, but the writable one sure does because that one is active. And we can use that metadata. So no longer do you have to create your UDT that looks at, gets this information for you. It's provided automatically, and there's quite a few different metrics that you can look at and use. And if you want to bring it onto a screen, let's go over here to, let me go to my home screen here. Let me put on a drawing component, and I'm going to draw a simple circle. So let's do, whoops, we'll do 30, 30. We're going to draw a little circle in here. I'm not going to draw it perfect, but of course with that we can go over and I can actually bind this to a tag. And if I look at my tags, I expand, I go to simulator, alarm metrics. I'm looking for if it has active in that particular folder, and we can do a mapping. Let's do a simple, true, false. If it's true, it's going to be, red. If it's false, we're going to, I don't know, be gray, let's say. And so if I apply, now I've got my circle that is going to show stuff that's active in that particular folder. So if I were to make that alarm clear, you can see that it went away. So these metrics are just right there. They're available. They're easy to work with, and it just makes that part really simple. The alarming system is a very powerful part of Ignition, and that just gives you the information quickly without having to find it. So that's a simple little addition, but very powerful, very mighty on that. All right, so let's move on. Looking at the tag system, we've done quite a bit in that we've added the ability to connect to more devices, and we've done more with our OPC UA stack. So let's show those two features. I'm going to go back to our browser, and I'm going to go over to another server that I've got here. I'm going to go to my devices. We added a new driver in Ignition 8.3 called the Siemens Enhanced driver, and this allows you to do symbolic addressing for that. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to a Siemens device that I have, and this one is at 102473, and I want to do the symbolic. This is a 1500. I want to do symbolic type. I'm going to create that connection, and we're now connected. So if I open up the designer and I go and browse the devices, you can see that I get all of the tags right within the device. Very easy to see. I can drag them in and use them. This is for people that are working with Siemens devices. The S7 Plus enhanced driver is just great. You don't have to worry about the onboard OPC UA server. You could just go directly and use symbolic addressing like normal. So we are continuing to add more drivers to Ignition as we go forward. This was a great addition in 8.3. All right, so the next thing I want to show is our OPC UA module. As our server, we've added some more features to that. So if I go to OPC, our OPC server is based on Eclipse Milo. We've updated that to OPC UA 105 in this release, and we've added the ability for OPC UA events to come in through event streams, but as well as we have a new way of being able to share data from Ignition out to different clients, and where we can be selective as to what we want to share with them. So if I actually go to our OPC UA server settings here, I'm going to come down to, go over here to permissions, and under permissions, this is where before, if you connected to our OPC UA server, it was just all or nothing. All the data was accessible to you. Now you can actually put individual permissions on tag providers. So you can have tag providers where you can specify which tags are allowed to be browsed, read, written to, all of that, and you can do that by roles. So you can assign roles for connections for users connecting to the OPC UA server, and based on those roles. So if I, for example, look at my default tag provider, I can add read-write role that is allowed to browse, read, and write. But then if I did it to a different provider and I said they don't have that, they wouldn't be able to see those tags. So now we could be more selective as to which tags are accessible through the OPC UA server. And that's really important, especially if you have a server with lots of different data and you need multiple, different vendors or people to connect to that server and only get the data they need. So it's a simple little feature, but really powerful there as well. Again, more fine-grained security we could put ignition, the better.